Okay guys, Carl Schuckert back here with NowDriven training. We just went over how to create the lead. Now we're going to actually go to the lead list. This is the actual place where you really will be managing your leads. So the first thing that's going to happen is when you push the button, it's automatically going to just have all your leads. Like every single disposition possibility is going to be in here. And I have like 500 leads or something like that. So I can actually go and look by clicking that bottom button at all. I'll be able to look at like all 300 of these leads here in one spot. Now, one thing I suggest you do is something a little bit different. So what I suggest you do is you narrow down the leads that you want to work. So the first thing I would want to do is I'm either going to be working new or working leads, right? So I'm either going to look at one or the other here. So let's say I wanted to first focus on new leads. Okay, that's what I would do. So then if I hit search, it's going to narrow my search down even more, right? So it'll get rid of my customers, it'll get rid of my on holds, it'll get rid of my working, and then I'll just see the leads that I actually have that are new, which I still have quite a few leads here that are new. I think I have over 500 leads that are new. So that is the next step, is I want to go ahead and narrow down even further. So one thing I do is I'll like take the zip code, and I can actually just put the zip code in there and then hit search, and then this will actually narrow down even further. So not as many, right? Not quite as many. I still have a decent amount. Now this is a good number of leads for me to work. Now if I'm working in a contact center, I could just start going down the list, like calling every single one. Maybe you have someone you hired for you to book leads for you. They could actually just go through here, log into your account, and then start calling, and they just hit call, and then right there Skype is going to call them automatically. You can actually if you get a hold of them right there and you wanted to add a note, you could just hit this button right here, and then you're going to be able to open up this, edit this lead, and you can add your notes right there. Cool thing about Apple and Mac is if you hit the function button twice, you actually will pull up something that'll help you with notes. So let's see if this will work real quick. Just met with Dynasty Restaurants, and I'm going to see them next week. Done. So pretty neat. Like I can actually put in a note without even actually, that shouldn't ask for that. Anyway, it's going to save even if you have to put in a fake date of birth. I do recommend though that you put in the actual date of birth, because then you know their date of birth and you can wish them a happy birthday every year on their birthday if you choose to do that. It's one of those little extra things that smart marketers do. You're not calling them to sell them something. You're calling them to say, hey, was thinking about you. I knew today was your birthday and I wanted to wish you a very special happy birthday. If you need anything, you know my number. Something like that real quick. Again, that's just another little tip that I wanted to add here. The other thing you can do is you can go ahead and put this into a map. So you can actually start mapping out a route for your day. So if you were out in the field that day, you wanted to look at a bunch of leads and you wanted to have like an idea of where your leads were all going to be, you can go ahead and just start mapping out all these leads. And as you keep scrolling through, it's going to give you a mileage report. So you can see closest to furthest where these leads are at. Some of them say not available. It's because there's something going on with the zip code or these numbers. There's something wrong with these numbers. So I'm just going to take those out. And you can always just go back and edit those leads and fix them. It's something to do with the data when it went in there. But anyway, let's go ahead and open up the map. It takes a couple seconds because it's actually building everything out for you. And then it's going to show you. Now, for some odd reason, this lead, I've seen this one before. For some odd reason, something is wrong with this coding right here, and so it's already thinking it's looking at a skyline in a different place. Something to do with the zip code, I believe. But anyway, all of the other leads, though, that you have are literally right here, and you'll be able to see all of these leads that you want to work that day. So basically, you'll know that you're going to be focusing on this area that day, and you can actually see each lead. If you wanted to pop up on here, you could see where they're at. Just kind of a neat little extra feature. Most likely you're going to be using your phone, and you'll be able to actually go out and work these leads and be able to have them on here. So now another thing you can do is take these leads off. So you just click on all of here, and each one of these leads are going to come off of your map. Now if you look up top, you can see I've got 7 there. And remember, I mean, it's Google Maps. Google Maps isn't always 100%, but it's pretty good. It's pretty close to what you want to do. Now it looks like when I went back, that's what happened. 89509 and new. So that's probably why when I was looking at that, it didn't. I had leads all over the place. So if you narrow your searches down and you just stick in one area, it's going to be much more helpful for you when it comes to building everything out. All right. So shows my last few leads here for some odd reason are still in here, but I can open this up and I can just click through here and get rid of all of them. Real simple. All right, so I've got the right zip code now, and I can see that I can start working these leads in a much more efficient manner. Now I remembered like some of these here, so maybe I should pick a different zip code because some of these here were wrong, right? So let's go to 89523. All right, so I can go ahead and look through here again, and I have quite a few. But see, that's the thing. That's the beautiful thing about here is you can just focus on one area. And that's what I would do when you're working, even on the phone. If you're just making phone calls, you really want to just focus on one area at a time. And so from here, like I said, you can do that. The other thing you can do is you can schedule. So I'll hit a schedule, or you can actually disposition the lead. So if I hit disposition, so say I got a hold of them and I scheduled, well, if I scheduled an appointment, I'd hit the schedule. But if I was doing presentations over the phone, a lot of places do presentations over the phone. I mean, even in insurance, I know guys that sell insurance over the phone. So they could actually just say phone call, presentation. If they didn't do a presentation, maybe they got a voicemail. They can actually track that, which is kind of a neat thing to do. They say connected. And then say it was connection and you wanted to schedule a callback or something like that, you could actually hit one of those buttons and schedule that callback. Let's just say it was a call. Let's say I did a presentation, and let's say I sold them for $500 and I collected 2 referrals over the phone, and then that was it, save. Okay, now that lead is now automatically going to become a customer. And I could have comments, I can add stuff in there, and then it's going to get rid of that lead. So that lead's gone here, and I can continue working throughout my list. So really cool. Phone call into a disposition, phone call into a scheduled event. A lot of times, though, when you're doing dispositions, it's going to help you keep track of your analytics and your numbers. So is the other way, but if you just said like connected and then scheduled a callback, and let's say I scheduled a callback for next Monday at 3 p.m., done deal, save. And then that's it. One thing you'll want to do, though, at the end is you'll want to sync all of your everything into Google Calendars. I'll show you that in a minute. So that's one way you can do it. I really suggest you do it that way because it will help track everything, and it'll keep you on this page, and it'll keep you working within your, within this list. So by the end of, 30 leads here or so, by the time you get to the end, you'll know where you're at. And all right, so then the last thing I can show you here, I showed you the edit lead. The last thing I can show you here is scheduled events. So I can go here to scheduling event. And so this is kind of what I would suggest doing at the end of the day. Do your last one where you schedule it. So let's say it was an appointment. We want to say it's for next Monday at 4 o'clock. Okay, 4 o'clock, and save. Now that lead's saved. Now what's neat about this right here is I can still work like even my today's schedule. I can go ahead and do all the same stuff I was right here. Actually, it's looking at, I can look at my leads and work them from here, and then I can even say I've attended the one, so I can take them out of my list. So as you can see, it actually went to Monday, but you can see that Monday it's going to show everything that I have that day. If I want to open that back up and work those leads, I can work them right from there. That's the difference between this and a lot of other systems out there, is that you got to like go back to the lead somehow. With this, you really don't. You can look at everything and then work it right on the fly. And you can look at this as you can look at your week. You can look at how your week looks. I kind of like how this view looks. And you can look at the day, right? And you can see what your day looks like. And then obviously you can look at what your month looks like. And then the final thing that I suggest you do once you're on this page is on the event management is you sync everything to Google Calendars, because this will sync with your phone. It'll sync with literally everything that you do, and just hit accept. And that way it's in your phone. It's, this literally syncs with iCal at that point, because iCal should be synced with your Google Calendar. And that's it. So that's pretty much it. We've got one more thing we're going to go over. We went over all of the user we have two things we're going to go over. We're going to go over user management and goal management. So we'll see you on the next video.